Well, I guess I could spare some cheesy poofs. Obviously, he starts eating them. Crunch, munch, crunch. I love cheesy poofs. They're so, well, cheesy. For that, you'll get to be a member of my special cult. And you can help me take over the world. Okay. The brain says, the Ankh is a symbol of life. Once I've given you this talisman, you'll be one of us. And your comrades will be more likely to help you along the path towards renewal. But be careful who you show it to. I will take your Ankh talisman. He says, you're now one of us. Soon I will take over the world and all of you will be renewed. Yeah, whatever you say, the brain. He says, but right now, don't you have something to do? I guess I better get going on that atomic power plant thing. Goodbye. So this is, get a guess. This is the brain from Pinky and the Brain. A WB cartoon? Yeah. Pessoa differenciata, I hope I pronounced that right, probably butchered it, asks, Caedo, would you do a supercut out of your New Vegas playthrough? And my tentative answer, I mean, probably more of a solid answer is no. It would be a lot of extra work because while all of the episodes of the Fallout 1 playthrough were in one format, it was also a much shorter series. The New Vegas series is 117 episodes. I've yet to finish this one, but so far, the New Vegas playthrough is the longest playthrough I've done on my channel. So if I were to supercut that, I would have to go in and get all the WMA episodes, which are in the WMA format, and convert them over to MP4 so they can actually get along with DaVinci Resolve, then put all the episodes in and hope that it comes out in a small enough file size where I can actually upload it, because there are limits to how big of a file or how long of a video file can be uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, probably not. So thank you for the question. Okay, here we are. Inside the reactor. It's very vault-like. But this is an active reactor core. So what we need are access keys. And I have the Ankh now too, which I think can be used to like not adjust. The Ankh can be used in dialogue with certain ghouls, I think. I think you can find more cheesy poofs in here too. I don't know if you can give the brain more than one box of cheesy poofs and have it do anything different. And since I already have a yellow passkey, I'm gonna wander around and see if I can get a red one. I think some of the, blue one. Sorry, blue passkey. And I'm gonna rotate these back into the top of my inventory because I'm gonna be using them several times. That drop-down menu is gonna get some use. Let me tell you what. What I tell you what. I've got just southern accents in my brain. Thanks, ghouls. Thanks for all the accents that you have. Not just the ghouls, but didn't Lumpy had a bit of a southern accent too? This is an obvious storage room, but I don't think there's anything at all on these tables. Like, this is kind of just a waste of time looking through the tables and the shelves. Never mind. Forget what I said. I don't know what I'm talking about. Caedo has no idea. He's just kind of flying by the seat of his pants. Who came up with that idiom, by the way? What is it referring to? Flying by the seat of your pants. Or skin off my teeth. Those are two idioms that I'm just like, how did those happen? Who said that they were gonna skin their teeth? Who was flying butt first and then said, by the seat of my pants, as like a war cry or something like that? Do you have any weird idioms that you know of that are just like, and an idiom is like just a common phrase in whatever culture you're in. So Man, I can't come up with another one. That's how the cookie crumbles. I think that's one. Yeah, I have no idea. That's how the cookie crumbles actually seems like something that would make sense. Or when Harold is using the dull edge of the knife, not the sharpest tool in the shed, kind of metaphor. Like that's more of an idiom as well. That kind of thing. I don't know. But flying by the seat of your pants, I don't know how that one came into being. I want to know. I think I'll do some research. I'll have little Caedo little Caedo on screen share my findings if necessary, if I do find anything. As well as the skin off my teeth thing, because man, that one's just weird. Why would we talk about skin coming off of teeth? The image of that is not great. I don't like it. Oh well. So we have one particular ghoul in here, a particularly unkempt ghoul. He's the manager, I guess, not the manager, the overseer of the reactor. And he's very bad at his job, as Harold was saying. Like, he was like, let's turn off the coolant. And Harold was like, no, you dummy. That'll kill us all. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But that's where the dull edge of the knife idiom started coming in, and he was just like, yeah, he's not he's a few bulbs short of a dozen of eggs, nails, coffin. That's a bunch mashed together. Hey, let's talk to him. Hello there, I'm Festus. Here's the thing too, I think that all of the Interplay Black Isle games had a character named Festus. I'm pretty sure they just loved including that name for a character, and it's a great name. This particularly unkempt ghoul says, hello there, I'm Festus. I run the whole reactor. Without me, this whole town would be shut down. I'm a very busy man. They really overwork me here. What do you do here? He says, well, I supervise the atomic power plant. Really, though, I run the whole thing by myself. By yourself? What are all those other people in the next room doing then? He says, wastrels. That's all they are. They don't really understand what needs to be done. They're just placeholders. It irks me that they think they know something about atomic power plants. Why, if it weren't for me... What did you say you do here? Yep, I run the whole thing in a supervisory capacity, all by myself. It would be impossible if I weren't just so good at it. It's a gift, really. You must know quite a bit about atomic power, then. He says, know about atomic power? Well, I almost invented it. I know more about atomic power than anyone alive. If it's atomic power, I'm your man. Well, what did he say you do here? He says, yep, I run the whole thing. And it's okay. I don't want to keep you from your work. Goodbye. He says, you know, I really do run the whole thing. It's pretty tough, but I have many years of experience. I'm all pro when it comes to running atomic power plants. You must be very good at your job. Festus says, most people think it's easy. They think that just anyone can run an atomic reactor, but it's not for just the untrained or faint of heart. I'm harnessing the power of the atom here. I'm impressed. It sure would be nice to have some help, but you see, no one else is qualified to do what I do. They don't even understand the basics of what I do. And how could anyone hope to keep up with you? He says, you know I am. I can tell that you really understand things like this. If I weren't so busy here, I'd run Gecko. And let me tell you, I'd run it right. You'd run the town too? He says, well, there wouldn't be any of this trading with Broken Hills for uranium ore. We just trade them power for it instead. They could run their city using the power of the atom. Wouldn't you have to run power lines across miles and miles of hazardous desert? He says, well, I suppose so. Then we'd have them buy giant batteries from us. Yes, that's the beauty of it. Then they'd have to buy batteries from us too. And that's just the start. I have other big plans like... Oh, you're a politician too. It's incredible that your talents cover such diverse fields. Festus says, I'm just multifaceted, really. I'm very good at whatever I try. Seldom is there anyone better. Of course, I just happen to prefer running the atomic power plant, but if I wanted to, I could do anything else. Man, I can't believe that everyone in Gecko doesn't see your true worth. I'm gonna go tell them right now. Goodbye. Okay. So, if you're not catching the vibe that Festus is putting out, man, he drinks a lot too. He's insanely lazy in a supervisory position. And is probably the one that suggested turning off the coolant. Because he's an idiot that thinks he knows everything. Does this guy talk? Oh, there we go. This guy probably has a little bit more knowledge about what's going on. He says, "Hello, I'm Hank. I take care of the inside of the reactor core. Not that much ever needs done here. Hank, I have a coolant report from Harold that you need to see. Here you go." He says, "Let me look this over. According to this, our coolant level is way too high. I would have thought that turning off the coolant would lead to immediate meltdown, but I guess not. I better turn off the coolant right now. On to second thought, maybe you should wait a moment on that. Let me check with Harold before you turn off the coolant. Goodbye." Okay, so that's one of the ways to just straight up sabotage the reactor, because you turn off the coolant, everybody dies. And you have like a time limit on escaping or something like that. Let's actually do that really quick. Let's just do it. Coolant report. Good thinking, Hank. I better get going. Goodbye. Against all odds, 20 is asking a question based on one of my answers about my favorite faction in Fallout. He says, "How would you, if given the chance, fit a Ranger faction in Fallout 4, and how would they stick out from the other factions in the game?" Since they are an anti-slave justice-oriented faction, I think the closest they could tie in would be working with the Minutemen in some capacity, I think. I would kind of like to see them as a superhero coming to save the day kind of thing. Like, you know how the Minutemen have a flare gun where you can fire it off and summon some incredibly weak Minutemen to help you in a fight? That, but Rangers instead. Somehow making some sort of contract agreement type of thing. Like resources for support or something like that with the Minutemen. I think that would probably work better, because there's not really a problem of... Slavery is a problem, obviously, in the Fallout universe, always has been, but there's not too much emphasis on it in Fallout 4 until I think you get to Nuka World. So more just helping the Wasteland out, kind of what the Minutemen's credo is. I think that would probably work if you were to incorporate Rangers into Fallout 4. That's a good question. Thank you. So there it is. I tricked Hank into starting a meltdown. So I just started a reactor meltdown. It's gonna kill everybody in Gecko and slowly kill everybody in Vault City if we decided to take this route. I think then if I leave... Oh, nope, we just start taking damage. Okay, and then they're hostile, obviously. That's funny. That's so funny. Okay. But that's not the choice that we made. That's just a different part of the Fallout multiverse that I chose not to do. So let's use this terminal here. I can't remember how to do the prank call thing. I really want to do it. Science? I failed to learn anything. Crap. I don't remember how to do it. Initialize. Reactor maintenance robot ready for initialization startup sequence functional access code. It's ABC. So A1546761, then 5B576005, and then 35C76863. So A, B, C. Coolant maintenance sequence. This was a lot easier than I thought it would be. RM and RR unit rollout initiated. Checking drive systems okay. Checking manipulator arm okay. Checking internal stabilizers okay. Logic circuits fail. Logic circuits failed. I wonder what that means. Job task location recognition inoperative. Yeah, unit not capable of recognizing movement locations at extended distances. Recommend. Move unit to intermediary locations as waypoints to find job task location. I wonder what happens if I don't enter the jobs in the right order. Unit returns to bay if command program contains terminal errors. Oh, well, that explains a lot. I wonder about the logic circuit failure, though. Logic circuits damage in emergency. RM and RR unit may be directed manually. All right, that explains that. I'll give it a try. Log off. Okay, does it say what these things are? It does. Okay. All right, so these are labeled. The puzzle here is actually pretty cool. These are labeled as references to each planet in the solar system when Pluto was still a planet. So this is the plutonium gamma shield machine. This is the neptunium impeller machine. This is the uranium rod driver machine. This is the Saturn class capacitor machine. This is the Jupiter wave compiler. And this is the coolant valve, or the coolant adjustment thing. So if you do the reverse order of the planets, I guess. So Pluto, Neptune, Uranus or uranium, then Saturn, then Jupiter, then you can get it to this point. But I'm not going to do that yet because I don't have the the hydroelectric magnetosphere regulator that I'm supposed to use. Alright, so after a little bit of sleuthing through the internet to find out how I could do a certain thing with this terminal, turns out that I need to have a science skill of 50-ish to do it. And as you can see here, my science skill is 22. So we need to do a little bit of grinding. Fortunately, we're only about 3,000 experience to level 9, at which point I can get a really cool perk that I want to. So excited for that. But we're going to have to leave for now. We can get the HIMAG, the hydroelectric magnetosphere regulator, which is the part that we need to fix the reactor. But we're not going to fix the reactor until we can get that certain encounter with the terminal to happen, because after we fix the reactor, we can't do it. Does that make sense? I'm trying to do things in order so I get to treat you to something that's enclave oriented that we wouldn't see otherwise because of my skills. So instead, we're going to talk to this ghoul here, Jeremy, who I completely walked by. He says, "Hello there, my name's Jeremy. I'm in charge of the all-powerful supply cabinet here. I keep track of all of our stored supplies." "Well, Jeremy, I need something from storage." Jeremy says, "You're not a friend of Skeeter's, are you? He's always tried to get me to give him valuable supplies. Then he just pulls stuff apart and breaks it. I wouldn't trust him to fix a toaster." I'm gonna do the long one. "Skeeter who? I just need a thing to bring this part over to the reactor control room to fix the..." "Hey, look, is that a rat over there?" He says, "Well, if you want something from storage, you need a request authorization form." "Do you have a request authorization form?" "Yes, I do. Here it is. We got this from Harold's desk." Jeremy says, "Well, this looks like it. All right, what do you need?" "I need a 3-step plasma transformer." "Want to know what I need it for?" Jeremy says, "I don't even want to know. I think I have one right here in this cabinet. Ah, yes, here it is." It's not the latest model, but it'll have to do. Thanks. Goodbye." Okay. So, he gave us a hint on where to use said 3-step plasma transformer. I think you can get a couple of these in the game. And when you look at the item description, it doesn't really tell you anything. It says, "This is a 3-step plasma transformer," without telling you what it does at all. But this is what's used to upgrade weapons to the better version of them. So if you remember in Fallout 1, we did the Fallout 1 playthrough, you know how we had the plasma rifle and we could upgrade it to the turbo plasma rifle via Smitty. And I still don't know if that's the same Smitty as the one in the den, but they were both named Smitty. Anyway, so this can be taken to Skeeter, and he will upgrade. If you have an item in your inventory that can be upgraded, he will upgrade it with this plasma transformer. Special thanks to my Wasteland legends, Sven and David Hoover, and thanks to the rest of my patrons on screen now. You can catch future episodes of this playthrough on Wednesdays and Fridays, noon and 10 a.m. Pacific. Thanks for watching. I'm Caedo Genesis, and may you wander the wasteland like you own it.